Good morning. Welcome to the ribbon cutting, the grand opening of residences at Emerald Villas. First, I want to thank everyone for being with us today. I'd like to highlight some of the elected officials that joined us, took the time out of their day to join us, starting with Mr. Congressman Maxwell Frost. Thank you for being here. Mayor Jerry Demings, thank you for being here as well. Thank you for taking the time out and joining us on this beautiful Monday morning, right? Residence at Emerald Villas is the completion of the third phase of redevelopment here at Emerald Villas. It's 90 mixed income units ranging between 50% AMI of the area median income up to 80% of the area median income. So it's another chapter, the close of a chapter of the next phase here at Emerald Villas. And we're honored to be a partner with Orange County, so we thank you guys and your support. Orange County did contribute to this project, so without Orange County, this project was not possible. So I want to thank Orange County again and highlight that. I'd like to also acknowledge Mr. Mitch Glasher. Appreciate all your help and anytime we picked up the phone, any little push we needed, we got that from Mitch, so thank you for that. I'd also like to thank the ONIC Group, Orlando Neighborhood Improvement Corporation. Current President Alfred, thank you for being here. And also former President Bob Ansley, thank you for being here. Now, with no further ado, I'd like to call up our first speaker of the morning, Congressman Maxwell Frost.
Good morning. It's such a blessing to be here with everybody. I'm Congressman Maxwell Alejandro Frost. I proudly represent Central Florida in the United States Congress, and I'm excited to be here as we open up residence at Emerald Villas. I want to start by thanking Mayor Demings, Orange County, the community partners, and everyone whose hard work helped make this day possible. Projects like this do not happen by accident. They happen because people come together around a shared belief that everyone, no matter who you are, deserves a safe and affordable place to call home. Housing has always been one of my top priorities because I believe that it's a fundamental human right, especially in the richest country on the face of the earth. But at the same time, we know that far too many families across Central Florida, the entire state, and the entire country are struggling to keep up with rising costs. Not just housing costs, but the cost of groceries, healthcare, gas, everyday essentials. Florida continues to face some of the worst housing crisis and rising costs in the country, which is why investing in quality, affordable housing is more important now than ever. But right now, we live in a society where so many are turning to criminalizing homelessness versus focusing on building housing. Today, the opposite is happening. Remember, for every $100 that the rent goes up in a community, homelessness goes up 9%. It's true of every community across the country. When families are living paycheck to paycheck, just one setback away from homelessness, that becomes a terrifying reality. That is why Emerald Villas is part of the solution that we need. This development was made possible in part because of funding from the American Rescue Plan, showing what's possible when local and federal governments work together to address the challenges that families are facing. And what makes today even more meaningful and special is what this development means for Pine Hills. It means more families will be able to stay in the community they know and love. It means more people will have the stability and security that comes with having an affordable place to call home. And while today is a moment to celebrate, let us all take this as a reminder of how much more work there is to do across Central Florida and across the entire state. We need more projects like this in more communities, so that way every family has an accessible and safe and affordable place to live and call home. The future of Central Florida depends on whether teachers, nurses, service workers, first responders, veterans, and seniors, and the people who have built this community can continue to live in the place that they know and love. And that's why I'll continue to fight for federal funding to bring resources back to our communities to expand accessible and affordable housing. So thank you again to everyone who helped make this project a reality, and we're so excited to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Congress. Very well said. Very well said. You fight for the funding, we'll make it happen. Next up, I'd like to ask Mr. Mayor Demings to say a few words.
right, good morning, everyone. It's another exciting day here in Orange County. We've been here for each one of the various phases. I'm very familiar with this property. Formerly, I lived not too far away from here in the Greater Pine Hills area. My family lived here. And during my law enforcement career, we had the opportunity to visit this complex on a number of different occasions. Bob kind of laughed there for a moment. But it's great to see this community transition into something that we all can be very, very proud of. We no longer have the drug dealers and those who are coming onto this property doing what they were doing. Thanks to the wonderful partnerships that we have to transition this entire complex to a place where everyone will want to come and to live. So to our partners today, as we are doing this ribbon cutting, ONIC, the Orlando Neighborhood Improvement Corporation, certainly has been a vital part of that effort. And then with this development team that has come into our area to work with Orange County and our entire community to make this a reality, I do thank you for this opportunity. Congressman Frost, he mentioned the partnership between the federal, state, and local governments. Keep bringing money back here. We look forward to that. The American Rescue Plan Act played a significant role in our ability to be able to deliver this project. Phase 1 included 264 multifamily units with 134 homes reserved for very low-income families for 25 years. This project became a key component of the broader redevelopment and revitalization efforts in the Pine Hills community. Phase 2 expanded those efforts by developing 96 affordable housing units for seniors aged 55 and older. Orange County supported this phase through the Neighborhood Stabilization Program funding and State Housing Initiatives Partnership, better known as SHIP funds, ensuring that seniors living on fixed incomes would have access to safe, quality housing. Today, we celebrate the completion of Emerald Villas Phase 3, the residences at Emerald Villas, a beautiful 90-unit affordable housing community designed for families. This final phase was made possible through investments from Orange County's Affordable Housing Trust Fund, the American Rescue Plan Act funding, and impact fee exemptions. Since 2012, we have partnered with the Related Group to create a total of 450 affordable housing units for seniors and families. So to the Related Group, let's give them a round of applause because they have been taking the lead on this. Thank you so much. Through a combination of local, state, and federal funding sources, Orange County has invested more than $18 million in this transformational development. What was once a foreclosed property has been reimagined into a thriving community. This transformation did not happen by accident. It happened because of vision, collaboration, and shared commitment to ensuring that working families and seniors have access to quality housing. Again, thank you to the Related Group. Their commitment has helped make this development a model for what can be achieved when public and private sectors work together. In 2019, shortly after coming into office, I created the Housing for All task force to address the county's housing crisis. At that time, more than 110,000 residents spent more than 30% of their income on housing costs. In 2020, the county's first housing trust fund was established and the board committed more than $160 million over 10 years to build affordable and workforce housing across our entire community. This development is a direct result of those actions and investments. The completion of this final phase demonstrates what is possible when we prioritize housing and remain committed to long-term solutions. As I conclude my remarks, I want to express my gratitude again to the Related Group, to our very own housing division led by Mitchell Glasser, I would also like to thank his entire team. Raise y'all's hands. We don't often get the opportunity to recognize this team. We have a lot more planned, as a matter of fact. We're going to be doing several additional ribbon cuttings in the very near future here throughout our community to announce other projects. So thank you all for being here, and for whoever put us up under the tent today, brought outdoor air conditioning. I do a lot of these ribbon cuttings, and they can get really hot and toasty. So thank you for that, and to Orange TV and to all of our television stations who are represented here today. Thank you for coming to share this good news within our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. We're not from here, but we're not too far from here, so we get the heat, so we understand. I'm glad we accommodated well. So, obviously, with the private-public partnership, this couldn't have happened. But on the backside, we have a lot of gratitude to everybody that was involved on this project, whether it be our lenders, Bank of America, Cedar Rapids, our management company, TRG Management, that they've been managing the first 2 phases. Now they're taking over the 3rd phase. Our construction company. They say it takes a village to raise a kid, and all of our projects are our kids. So it's a true team effort. So we really appreciate that. And the foundation of that team, I'm honored to call up Mr. Tony Del Pozo to say a few words.
Thank you, Guillermo. Thank you, Commissioner Frost and Mayor Demings. It's an honor to be here today. I thought it might be interesting to give all of you in attendance and those of you watching on TV a little history about how we ended up here today. So in 2010, after the economic downturn, we formed a venture called Related Urban Development Group, and we partnered up with a gentleman by the name of Albert Milo, who couldn't make it here today, but he's been integral in everything that we do over here. So Albert and I were looking for opportunities, and there was something in Orlando that he wanted to pursue, and it involved potentially getting some neighborhood stabilization program dollars that were available. So he set a meeting up with Mitchell Glasser, the manager of housing and community development, and went there to present his project. And when he got there, Mitchell said, well, this is a nice project, but you know what, this isn't really where we want to deploy our funds. We want to have more of an impact. So he gave the name of a couple of different projects to Albert, and Albert left the meeting and he said, well, there's some potential here. So I called up, I said, Albert, how'd the meeting go? Did you get funding for the project? He's like, well, not exactly, but Mitchell gave us some ideas about some other things that he wants to get done. And he mentioned a project by the name of Seville Place Apartments. And coincidentally enough, a broker had sent me a package on Seville Place Apartments, and it was sitting on my desk as Albert spoke to me. So I said, wow, we can maybe pursue this one. So we started looking into it, and it was, as we mentioned, 444 units. The project was actually in receivership. The bank had gone under. This was a very difficult time in the U.S. economy. So Mitchell, with his foresight and direction, gave us the idea to pursue that project. And he said, you know what, if you guys are going to do some work in Orange County, you should really think about, partnering up with a local team. And he mentioned ONIC, Orlando Neighborhood Improvement Corporation. At the time, run by Bob Ansley and his cohort, Mr. Bob Frankie. The 2 Bobs became great partners of ours. We formed a partnership. We put the site under contract. And then with the help of Orange County, we were able to get the project rehabilitated. We reduced it to 264 units, right? And said, you know what, 444 was too much. We didn't have enough money to get that done. We could always come back later and do future phases. And here we are today celebrating what we now have is 450 units. So we actually have more units than we originally had at the project. It's been a great success story. We totally turned the community around. But if it wasn't for Orange County, Mitchell Glasser, ONIC, and everyone that supported this development from the get-go, we wouldn't be here today. So I just want to thank you all in attendance, and I want to thank our partners for really, really showing us the way and helping us make an impact in this community. Thank you so much.
Well, so that concludes our presentations for here this morning. Before we go and enjoy some coffee and some snacks, we're going to do something a little different on this ribbon cutting. We're actually going to do 2 ribbon cuttings. We're going to have a ribbon cutting here for those of you that are on live that, quite frankly, you guys are missing out. It's a beautiful day. You should have been here. Feel free to come by and check out Residences at Emerald Villas. So we'll do a ribbon cutting here, and then after that, we'll move to the front door to have an official ribbon cutting and continue on our day. So thank you everyone else for coming. Thanks for those watching online, and we have a God bless day.
All right, and 3. You guys ready? Oh, we got some. All right, you guys ready? And 3, 2, 1.